Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about bands that I have grown out of. I still listen to these bands, but not every day like I used to. I'm not obsessed with them like I used to be. Like all of these bands that I'm going to be talking about, they've all helped me during different spots in my life, and some of their lyrics in their songs still speak to me, and some of their songs are still some of my favorites, and I still love them to death. I just don't listen to them as much anymore, and I've had with one of the bands I've had an experience with that I might make a whole nother video about, that kind of ruined the band for me. But I'm not gonna talk about it much in this video. And I do have a list on my phone, so I could keep my head straight on what band or what I'm gonna say, because I tried filming this video 10 times today already, and I kept messing up and getting flustered, but that's besides the point. So the bands I am gonna be talking about are One Direction, Big Time Rush, Black Veil Brides, Bring Me the Horizon, and Fall Out Boy. I'm not gonna be talking about them individually because a lot of the points that I thought about and came up with all are they're the same, I guess, and kind of bleed into each other. And so the main reasons why I've kind of grown up, or not grown up, but grown out of the bands, is the fan bases and growing up, and my musical style changing, and I don't like the new music, mainly with Bring Me the Horizon and Fall Out Boy. With Fall Out Boy's most recent album, it's a little too popish for me, and there are a good couple songs off of that album, but I don't really like pop music that much. There are a few artists in the pop music genre that I like, but other than that, I just can't. And that's the same with Bring Me the Horizon and toxic fan bases. All of these bands, except for Big Time Rush, have toxic fan bases, and I have found myself distancing myself from the fan bases because of how toxic they are. And the main one with One Direction is the ship between Louis and Harry. I don't see it, and I don't think they were ever a thing. And the a lot of the Directioners are really 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 hardcore about Louis and Harry being a thing, and shipping them, and it's that kind of pushed me away, because a lot of the fans were if you don't believe this, well, you're not a real fan of One Direction or whatever, and that kind of pushed me away. And another thing is people saying you have to like all of the music from all your favorite artists. No, you don't. I don't have to Fall Out Boy and Bring Me the Horizon's new stuff to still be a fan of them. I prefer the older music, if that makes sense. The more rocky guitar stuff, and not the pop synthesizer kind of stuff, if that makes since with Black Veil Brides, like a lot of the fans are just like really, really, really obsessed with them and are like clingy to like other fans of the band, and like that's what like I've experienced with like the few Black Veil Brides fans that I know in real life, except for one of them has been okay. The rest are like, oh my god, you like Black Veil Brides, and are like so obsessed with them and like so over sexualize them, and like that to me, like I can't be like that. Like I was like that at one point in my life, but like I've grown up, and like I'm like more mature, and I'm not oh my gosh fangirling all the time about it. Like I and like growing up, I've just like grown up out of like these bands, like especially with Big Time Rush. Like I was a fan of them in like my tween years, and like before like I became like an actual teenager and stuff, and like they were my first concert, and so like I always hold them to like at a special place in my heart because they were my first concert. And my music taste has been changing, and I feel like it's always will change when I like find new music that I like and stuff. Like, and like Big Time Rush isn't that kind of band that I necessarily listen to all the time anymore, because like they were mainly a pop act. I still do go listen to them all the time, or not. I still go listen to them, not all the time. It's more of like a once in a blue moon thing. If I get tired of listening to like what I normally listen to and like want to like change it up, like Big Time Rush is usually one of the first bands I go to, and like I get to relive like my tween years and like think back on that kind of stuff. And it's like the same way with Black Veil Brides. Like I still go back and listen to them. It's just not like how I used to listen to them every day. And like it's kind of the same with Fall Out Boy, but with Fall Out Boy, I kind of had like a negative experience like with them, and like every time I listen to them, like I always like think back on like that experience, and don't I'm not I feel like me going back and listening to them and getting and thinking about that experience like means I'm not necessarily over it 100%, and so I have kind of stopped listening to them for that reason, so I can like heal from it completely, and so I can like be okay with what happened. Yeah. So that's all of the bands that I've kind of grown out of in like the past like few years, and why I've grown out of them. Sorry, I said like a lot. That's kind of my word. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to stick around and be a nerd with music around, if you want to stick around and be a nerd with music about me, stick around and leave a like on this video and subscribe and comment down below bands that you've grown out of. Bye.